When I first moved into my new apartment, I was excited to have a roommate. It was my first time living with someone else, and at first, everything was cool. My roommate, Jason, seemed nice enough. He was quiet, kept to himself, and was always neat. But things started getting weird pretty fast. Little things went missing. I'd leave my keys on the counter and find them in the bathroom. Food disappeared from the fridge, but Jason always said he hadn't touched anything. I tried to brush it off, thinking maybe I was just forgetful. One night, I was watching TV when I heard a noise from Jason's room. It sounded like someone was whispering, but I couldn't make out the words. I thought maybe he was on the phone or something, but it went on for hours. The next day, I asked him about it, and he just shrugged it off, saying he had fallen asleep with the TV on. But the weird noises kept happening. Sometimes, it sounded like more than just one voice, like he was having a conversation with someone. Then I started noticing locks on his things, his closet, his desk, even his nightstand. It was like he didn't trust anyone. I thought it was odd, but maybe he was just protective of his stuff. One evening, I came home from work and found Jason sitting on the couch, staring at the wall. He didn't even look up when I came in. He just kept muttering something under his breath. I asked if he was okay, but he just looked at me with this blank expression and said everything was fine. I was really creeped out, so I decided to stay in my room for the night. Later, I heard a loud crash from the living room. I ran out to find Jason standing over a broken lamp, his face twisted in anger. I tried to ask what happened, but he just stormed off to his room. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing him moving around, opening and closing drawers. At one point, I heard the front door open and close, but I was too scared to check. The next day, I decided I couldn't take it anymore. I started looking for another place to live. That's when I found something shocking. While packing up some things, I accidentally knocked over a box under Jason's bed. Inside, there were pictures of me, hundreds of them, taken at different times, some even from inside my room. I was terrified. I left the apartment immediately and went to a friend's place. I called the police and reported everything. When they came to check it out, Jason was gone, just vanished. No one knew where he went. I moved out as fast as I could and never looked back. It's scary to think how much we don't know about the people we live with. I learned the hard way to always trust my gut when things don't feel right. When I first moved in with Sam, I thought I hit the roommate jackpot. He was super chill and always seemed up for a good time. But a few weeks in, things started getting a little off. It began with little things. I'd come home from work and the apartment would feel different, like someone had gone through my stuff. I didn't think much of it at first. I figured maybe Sam was just looking for something. But then weird things started happening. One night, I woke up to the sound of scratching coming from the walls. It was soft at first, but it got louder and more frantic. I told myself it was just a mice or something. But it happened night after night. Sam always seemed oblivious, claiming he never heard anything. One weekend, I decided to clean up our shared storage closet. While moving some boxes, I found a small, locked metal box tucked away in the back. Curiosity got the better of me, and I asked Sam about it. He got really defensive, insisting it was just some personal stuff and not to worry about it. But I couldn't shake the feeling that something was up. So one day, while Sam was out, I decided to check it out. I picked the lock with the paperclip, expecting to find old photos or maybe some cash. What I found instead was a collection of random items: a broken watch, a torn photo of a woman, and a small, rusted knife. That night, I confronted Sam about the box. He laughed it off, saying it was just a bunch of junk he kept for sentimental reasons. But there was something in his eyes that made me feel uneasy. Things escalated quickly after that. I started getting strange calls on my phone late at night with heavy breathing on the other end. Sometimes I'd find my bedroom door open in the morning when I was sure I'd closed it the night before. One evening, I came home to find Sam sitting at the kitchen table, staring at the wall. He was holding the rusted knife from the box. When he noticed me, he started talking about how he felt trapped and needed to release the pressure. I didn't know what he meant, but his tone sent chills down my spine. I decided then and there that I needed to leave. The next day, I called a few friends and arranged to crash at their place until I could find a new apartment. When I told Sam I was moving out, he just smiled and said he understood. The night before I moved, I heard the scratching in the walls again, louder than ever. I packed up my things and left that very night, not wanting to spend another minute in that apartment. I never found out what was really going on with Sam, but I'm just really glad I trusted my instincts and got out when I did. Getting a new roommate was supposed to be a fresh start for me. When Lisa moved in, I thought she was perfect. Easygoing, fun, and respectful of space. At least, that's how it seemed at first. It all started with the noises. At night, I'd hear what sounded like whispering coming from Lisa's room. It was faint, and at first, I thought maybe she was on the phone. But the whispering was constant, every single night, and it never stopped. I told myself it was just her way of winding down after a long day. But then I noticed other things. I'd find Lisa standing in the hallway, staring at the walls. When I asked her about it, she'd smile and say she was just thinking. It felt off, but I shrugged it off, trying to keep things chill. One night, I woke up around 3 a.m. to get a glass of water. On my way to the kitchen, I saw Lisa standing in the dark, just looking at me. It freaked me out. I asked if she was okay, and she just nodded without saying a word. The next morning, I told her about it, and she laughed it off, saying she sometimes sleepwalks. But something felt wrong. Her laugh was too forced, and her eyes didn't match her smile. Things got even weirder when I started noticing my things going missing. It started small, like my keys or phone charger, but then bigger stuff disappeared, like my favorite jacket and even some cash. Every time I brought it up, Lisa would act surprised and promise to help me find them. I was beginning to feel really uneasy. I didn't have proof, but my gut told me Lisa was involved. I decided to put up a small hidden camera in the living room to see if I could catch her. I know it sounds sneaky, but I needed to know. After a few days, I checked the footage. What I saw shocked me. Lisa was going through my things when I wasn't home. But what really terrified me was that she had a little box filled with items she'd taken from me, hidden in her closet. That night, I confronted Lisa, hoping for an explanation. She didn't deny it. Instead, she calmly said she was keeping them safe. Her voice was calm, but her eyes were intense, like she believed every word she said. I packed my stuff and left that same night, staying at a friend's place until I could figure things out. I didn't even bother taking back what she'd stolen. I just wanted out. I later found out from the landlord that Lisa had a history of this kind of behavior and had been evicted from several places. I couldn't believe I hadn't done my research before moving in with her. I still think about how close I was to staying longer, and it creeps me out to imagine what might have happened if I hadn't left when I did. Living with Lisa taught me to always trust my gut and never ignore the signs.